5 years ago, I wrote down this list of goals of things that I wanted to achieve musically over the next 5 years. It was pretty cool looking back on these because not only did I achieve a lot of them, but I surpassed quite a lot of them in like a really big way. You'll notice like quite a few of them are crossed out, and that's going on from, the last video that I posted where I was talking about it's okay to change path, but never give up on yourself and never give up on your dreams. And that's why some of them get crossed out, because it's like, like things don't always align anymore. And so for those things, I just crossed them out because they weren't really things that I was aiming for anymore. But yeah, I wanted to talk about a few of them because I tried to go full time with music quite a few times in the past and never really succeeded because I feel like I always went into it with no real plan in mind. So this time around, I wrote this just before I quit my job, and it was just kind of to give myself like an idea of things that I could aim for. So like, for example, 100,000 Spotify plays. 100,000 seemed like such a crazy big amount to me at the time. Quite a few of my songs only had like 1,000. Like I would be happy if I just got 1,000 streams on a song. And now only do I have 2 tracks over 1 million, but in total something like 6 million. And that's just on Spotify. I wanted to get to 100,000 followers on Instagram. We didn't quite get there yet, but when you think about in 2019, I had something like 15,000 followers. Now I'm close to 65,000. I'm still aiming for that 100K. Yeah, we will get there. Release a sample pack. I've got a couple out on BandLab, as well as one that I did for Roland, which you can get, which is specially made for the SP404 Mark II. I wanted to do music full time. This for me is probably my greatest achievement. I've been doing music full time for the last 5 years. Well, since the end of 2019. For me, like that's such a huge step. Like I was never really made for the 9-to-5 life. I was working in a restaurant before I quit my job, and yeah, I'm just not really suited to like working for people or like in places, but being able to build a career doing music has just been really cool. Like I get to do really cool stuff every day and I really love it. I wanted to get to 10,000 subs on YouTube. I am now at something like 35,000 subs, and actually I'm aiming to get to 100K on YouTube. I just really want to get the plat. So thank all of you guys that is subscribing. I wrote play Glastonbury Festival. I've played a few times, like quite a lot of smaller stages and stuff, which was fun. Playing an international gig. I've done quite a lot of gigs around the world now. Just last year, I was in Serbia and China doing workshops. I love traveling around. I think it's one of the best things that I get to do. And yeah, I can't wait to see where I get to go to next. Get music on an advert. I have had music on quite a few like web adverts. I'm still aiming to maybe get something on like TV, which would be cool. Get paid a £1,000 fee. £1,000 seemed like such a crazy amount. I remember having a conversation with my cousin quite a few years ago where he was saying, oh, you should be asking for £1,000, and that just seemed absolutely crazy to me. Like I felt bad asking for £50 for a gig, which is crazy now because £1,000 is actually like a pretty average amount to be asking for certain jobs now. I have a song played on BBC Radio. I have had that. Not only have I had airtime, but I also got to go to the BBC studios with my bandmate Nikita Gill. We got to perform live on Radio 4, which was really cool, on a Women's Hour with Anita Rani. So these next two are things that I'm still working towards. So the first one, have a dedicated studio. I've got a really amazing home studio. Like I love my space here, but I would still really like to have like a dedicated that I can go to. Somewhere that's a bit bigger as well and soundproof, so that I can have like a real drum kit and play to my heart's content. Put on a finger drumming event. I came so close to doing that in 2020. At the beginning of the year, I was like going around speaking to people, speaking to venues and stuff, but the world shut down and then I never really got to do that. And I don't know if that's something I'll be able to do, but you never know what's on the cards. Hopefully I might get to do something like that in the future. I then wrote, I think, because after I achieved that 100K, I wrote 10 million streams. So we're on the way to 10 mil. I think something at like 7 mil at the moment. Signing a track to a major label, having a song signed to Disney. So I did a lo-fi remix for Disney. I would count that as a major label, so I ticked that off. Sync a song. I have actually had quite a few syncs, a lot of like really random ones, as well as like Netflix and BE Sport and stuff like that, through like sync agencies and stuff. But yeah, it's really cool looking back on this. Sometimes it's easy to forget like in your day-to-day like how far you've come. It's been a journey. I am really lucky with what I get to do. It's not easy being freelance for sure. You know, sometimes there's a lot of projects all at one go and you have a lot of deadlines and things that you have to meet. Sometimes there's not that much work and you have a little panic. I really love being able to work on all sorts of different projects. No 2 days are the same. Getting to work with some of the biggest music tech brands, releasing music, working with artists, being in studios, traveling the world. It's great. I can't wait to see where the next 5 years will take me. And on that note, it's time for me to write my goals for the next 5 years. Like I said, never give up on yourself and keep striving for those dreams.